upper arm, and I want to reduce it already to the level of stereometric rendering. I want to consider the upper arm, let's say, as a cylindrical shape. It's easier to deal with an essential form like that rather than getting into the organic aspects of the limb in this case, right? So if I look at the size of this, and think already of these segments as something with a volume, a section, because you're going to draw them differently if you think of them as something that has a height, a width, and a depth, right? And think of how is a muscle going to wrap around in here, for example. So this is the upper arm, right? So what you want to do is, you can draw along with me, but it's probably better if you first look at the video and then try to make sense of what I'm saying. Then you watch it again and then draw along with me, right? So now, the forearm, I can consider the forearm, I can think of it as a 2x4, right? But what I want to think is that this 2x4 is going to be slightly shorter than the upper arm, right? To this 2x4, eventually, I can add an oval form that is a little bit longer than half the length of the forearm. So this would be the volume of the muscles of the upper arm, and this also will have a section. In this case, in the upper portion, the section is going to be curved, like an ovoidal shape, but the forearm here will tend to be square, right? So now, again, this is going to be the biggest portion of the arm, the upper arm. The forearm is going to be slightly shorter, and then the hand is going to be slightly shorter, right? So gradually decreasing length. So basically, and this is true for the legs too, as we're going to see later on, the length of the segments of the limbs decreases as we move away from the origin, from the center, from where the arm is attached to the torso. So if you want to also keep going with this specific approach to looking at the limbs of the arm, we see how, in this case here, see how the length of carpus and metacarpus, when we're gonna into this later on, is a little bit longer than the length of the fingers, just barely. Then I look at this segment in here, is going to be a little bit longer than this segment in here. This segment in here is gonna be a little bit longer than this segment in here, okay? So knowing that,